why should they consider brand direct? Why should this be like, hey, this is probably an area that I want to be maybe not doing right now, but learning more about, going towards, like what's the advantage? And like, how big can your business grow? Let me ask that question.
Yes. So in my opinion, there are many, many advantages. One is if you have a brand direct account and you're working directly with the brand as a growth partner, the likelihood that you're going to sell that product for much longer than you've ever sold an online arbitrage product, very, very high. We have some products that we've been selling for well over a year, maybe even 2 years, somewhere in that range, have been profitable the whole time. I don't have to worry about price tanking. I don't have to worry about not winning the buy box. Very rarely do I have to worry about being in stock because I have a direct line with the brand. So that part of managing it is much easier. And then that also means that it's going to stack better. So once you get a good brand relationship and you have those products that are selling consistently, you know that every time you get another product, it's going to just stack on top of that. With online arbitrage, yes, you'll have replens, right? I mean, I did online arbitrage for 2+ years. Some products we sold for the majority of that time, but most of those products we either bought once or bought twice, and then they were no longer good, no longer available, or for whatever reason, we just weren't able to continue selling them. So that's one thing. The life cycle of products is going to be much, much longer. Number two, and this probably is the biggest one, is you're not going to be worried about IP complaints, assuming that the brand knows that you're selling, because you can do brand direct and they don't know that you're selling and then they get IP complaint. But again, the difference between just brand direct versus being an Amazon growth partner, like if you're in partnership with the brand, they're not filing an IP complaint against you. So it's also just way, way safer from an account health perspective. Those two things alone just help me sleep so much better at night. And I'll stop with those two. We can talk about more later.
I love it. Okay, so thank you. So let's kind of start from the beginning and let's walk our way through the whole journey. So I think the first question I would probably want to understand is like finding brands. What's the process look like? What's the kind of criteria? Like, how do you do that? Like, do I go call Nike head office and say, can I take your product? Like, what does it look like?
Yeah, so you're not going to get a brand direct account with Nike. Probably not going to get a brand direct account with like Dove soap or Colgate toothpaste, right? That's not who we're going for. We're going for small brands. And I'm sure listeners have probably heard of the tool Smart Scout. That is the best tool for brand research. When you're going the brand tab, I'm like trying to look at Smart Scout in my head. You go to the brands tab, and then when you apply the filters, there are a couple ones that you're going to want to do. One is revenue size. I always look under 100K. Smaller is better. Usually, because normally smaller revenue size is going to mean a smaller business, which means that you're going to be able to talk to a decision maker, right? If you're going with Nike, you're not going to get the CEO, you're not going to get the VP of marketing, right? You're going to get customer service. But if you're able to find a brand and it's like a 2 to 5 person team, the likelihood that you can get to the person who is going to be able to make the decision to partner with you is very, very high. So smaller revenue is better. That's not to say you can't work with bigger brands, but the other thing to consider too, like if you want to go exclusive eventually, you need to have the bankroll to be able to carry all of their inventory. So if you call up a brand that's doing $300,000 a month, and you can only spend $20,000 a month, then it's like, well, the brand's just too big for me to work with, which is fine. Like there are plenty of brands that I would love to work with, but I just can't afford to work with. So I like to look for brands that are doing, I would even say under 50K a month in revenue. And then you can also, Smart Scout has like a brand score, which essentially shows you like how well optimized their listings are. So you want to look for brands that, I forget if it's on a scale of 1 to 5 or 1 to 10. But and again, you can play around with the filters, but you just don't want to be looking at brands that have a perfect listing. You want to be looking at brands that have room for improvement. I also like to look for brands that have multiple sellers already on the listing, which means that they're arbitrage friendly and not a private label brand, those sort of things.
Okay, cool. So you're using, cool. Carry on.
Yeah. And then so once you apply those filters, you can also pick a category. I like to look category specific. It just makes it easier to kind of see what the landscape looks like. You make a list of those brands and then go to their websites. If at all possible, get on the phone. Very, very difficult to overcome objection via email. People still open accounts via email, so not saying that it doesn't work, but you're going to have a much higher success rate if you're able to have conversations on the phone.
Cool. So just come back to so using Smart Scout as a tool, is that like the best tool, or is it the only tool, or like is it kind of like a no-brainer? Like why do you use that tool? Let me ask the question.
As far as I know, it's the only tool that gives brand level data on Amazon. Like there's a lot of profit calculators. There's a lot of keyword PPC kind of tools. But in terms of Smart Scout, I don't think Smart Scout has a direct competitor when it comes to brand level data on Amazon. If there is, I just am unaware of it.